Hello everybody, this is Troy and I'm back with a new puzzle, and actually it's a previous puzzle but it's a new concept, and I'm kind of excited about this. What it is you'll see my hands have not suddenly gotten large. These pieces are very small. So this is actually a mini version of the puzzle I had recently finished of my dueling Tetra. But it's more than just a small version of the puzzle. It's actually a version that does not require hardware, in that there's no Guanlong core, there's no springs and screws on this. Everything you need for this cube is right here in front of me. And it all kind of revolves around this piece here, which is the new core. And what happens is my center piece is here, and I have one of these with the support turned up, clipped off. It has a pin in it, and so all of my centers are going to be able to simply push right in here. And once they get in, they're actually in pretty solid. You won't necessarily pull this puzzle apart once it's together. And I'm really hoping that this is going to work. I think in the end, a puzzle that's built with proper springs is a better puzzle, but I wanted to be able to have an option for people that did not have access to that, and this is what has become of that. Here is what that pin looks like in a sample I made, and so I know that I've got free rotation once the pin is in there, and we'll see how loose it is. And what I need to do here simply is to remove all the support material, and so I'll stop this video and then I'll come back, but I just wanted to show the edges have all been printed like this with a little tiny bit of support right here. That will just snap right off. I've got to do that to all of them, and there it goes. And the centers have all been done with support material here. Now I print it this way instead of like this, because I want the lines of the print going this way, which gives me strength that way. If I were to print it this way, what would happen is the lines going this way would create a very weak spot on these pins, and so when you went to insert, the pins would just snap. So I'll need to clean up all these supports, and then the corners, pretty simple, again just supports to hold those pieces up, and I'll just be able to snap those right off and that piece is ready to go. So let me clean this up and I'll resume the video in a second. Okay, I'm back. I was able to remove all the material. Here's basically all the pieces that just came off. Just broke those off with the pliers, and that's it. I haven't done any extra sanding like I normally do. And at this point I have no idea if this is going to work, so we're in this together. So my centerpiece will snap in, very tough, but we've got rotation here. I'm going to leave one of these out right now because I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough flexibility to get this together at the end. Okay, so there we go. So far that's a pretty good core. Like I said, it's a little loose and we'll have no spring action, so we'll see what happens. That snap, it means it's all together, and it is functional. It's extremely tight right now, so I will just need to work this a little bit. However, this is a functional puzzle with no hardware, and I will need to work this a little bit to see if I can loosen these parts up, and I think with a little bit of use. Now if I were to sand this, actually this would get much better too. And I can already feel it starting to get better here. So let me work on this a little bit here and see, and then I can also increase my tolerances just a little bit if we want. But it's no rattle. Everything's very solid. It fits together good. And just for the size reference, here was the original. This is roughly the size of a regular Rubik's Cube. So this is about a 40 millimeter, 40 to 44 millimeter. It's kind of hard to measure, but I'm going from tip to tip here. So there it is, and here's the turning. It's actually, I think this is going to be fairly good, even without springs or screws. It's not going to come apart because it's very tight in there, and those centers, once these are locked in, they stay put really good. So there it is.